When you think of generic prescription drugs, most assume that it's the cheapest option. And while that's usually true, there are also price points within generic drugs that can make a really big difference in your pocketbook. So, to help explain us through how you can find your best drugs at the best price is Erica Clark, the Director of Clinical Pharmacy at Priority Health. Whew, this is a tough thing to navigate.
It really is. It's so hard as a consumer to understand drug pricing. And consumers don't have a lot of control over it. The drug manufacturers set the price, and we have to do what we can to try to provide tools to be able to navigate and understand this really tough topic.
I think one of the biggest questions everybody has is why does there have to be such a big price difference, not just between brand and generic, but within generic? I mean, there are some examples where one drug could cost you just a couple $100 and another one in that same drug as a generic could be $9,000 a month.
Yeah, definitely. This is a changing landscape, and I think overall, I should say, generally, generic drugs are the most cost-effective option, right? It's good to ask if there's a generic available for a drug, but what we have seen in more recent years is that there is variation in price, even within a generic category. A good example is treatment for acne. You could pick a product that costs $30, and the same exact chemical entity, just slightly reformulated, could cost all the way up to $900. Both are technically generic drugs approved by the FDA as generics, but the price wildly is different.
And so you need a little bit of help to get through this. And Priority Health has come up with a way to really help patients find the best drug that's still going to be effective for them.
Exactly. We really tried to knock down the walls for the issues around how can I understand drug pricing and create more transparency, ability for our members to actually see what will drugs cost me. So our cost estimator is a really good example of that. You can log in very easily as a member and shop drugs and know what is my exact cost based on my copays and my deductible that I have, and what might some lower cost options be within that same category of drugs.
And I mean, that is a great resource because you always need a resource to try and figure that out. And it also might differ maybe from pharmacy to pharmacy. Do you have to consider that as well?
Yeah, I think there's a little bit less of that happens, but on occasion, pricing within from one pharmacy to another could vary. We try within our coverage to eliminate that, so you don't get surprises when you go to one pharmacy versus another. But yeah, you can actually look that all up within that cost estimator tool.
And so
One of the close pharmacies to you.
if you find one that's a little bit cheaper, then is it easy for you to go back to your physician and say, hey, can we switch to this particular generic drug?
Yeah, I think physicians really are pretty receptive to their patients saying, hey, can you help me find a lower cost alternative? And we also partner with them to do a lot of this as well, make these same types of things around drug pricing very transparent to them so that when they're prescribing a drug or choosing what do I give my patient, they can have better access right at their fingertips to know what the cost of the therapies are.
Well, it's great to know that there's a tool out there that can certainly help people navigate the drug prices, which seem to just be all over the place all the time. So thanks so much for joining us today, Erica. Of course, if you would like more information on that or the cost estimator, I have that for you on 13onyourside.com.
Great, thank you.